Hi, this is Nanette Hosenfeld with the Great Basin Smoke Dispersion Briefing for Monday, May 13th, 2019. Looking at precipitation over the past 30 and 60 days, you can see that over both of these time periods, the Great Basin is well above normal as far as precipitation. So we've really been in a very wet pattern for the past few months. Looking at the satellite this morning, high pressure is in place over the Great Basin, but a weather system is making its way into the Pacific Northwest, and that will impact the majority of the Great Basin this week. For today, again, you can see that high pressure in place across the Great Basin. The full ventilation index forecast is not available, but we are expecting good to excellent mixing across the northwestern part of the Great Basin, with port-of-air mixing to the areas further south and east. You can kind of see that trend reflected in the transport winds. That's the image here on the left. You can see the really strong transport winds across parts of northern Nevada into Idaho, and really light transport winds in Utah, and we're expecting the clearing index to closely match those transport winds. So the lighter the winds, the lower the clearing index, lower the ventilation indices, higher the transport winds, the better the mixing, the better those ventilation indices. As we move into Tuesday, we continue to see that system slowly make its way towards the area. Again, we will see an increase in mixing across the entire Great Basin, and we are expecting good to excellent mixing across the entire area on Tuesday. You can see those increasing transport winds in the forecast for Tuesday on that image on the left. As we move into Wednesday, that storm system slowly continues to move to the south and east. We will continue to see very strong winds across the majority of the Great Basin, which will lead to good to excellent mixing across the whole area. You can see those really strong transport winds here on that forecast on the left, with some especially strong winds across northwestern Nevada. The Utah Forecast Clearing Index shows that similar trend with really excellent mixing on Tuesday and Wednesday. Over the next 3 days, things are expected to be pretty dry as that system remains largely to our west. As we move into Thursday, that weather system begins to make its way into the Great Basin. Those winds will be really quite strong across much of the area, and we are looking at good to excellent mixing on Thursday. As we move into Friday, that weather system makes its way eastward across the Great Basin, and with that weather system overhead, we will see another day of good to excellent mixing. And on Saturday, that system makes its way out of the area. We'll see a short period of high pressure, although there is another system on its heels moving quickly in, which will keep our ventilation indices quite good on Saturday. And finally on Sunday, it looks like that next system is making its way into the area, bringing us yet another day of good to excellent mixing across the Great Basin. So really, this week we are looking at almost every day seeing good to excellent mixing across the entire area. In the 4 to 5 day period, things are a little wetter with that weather system moving across the area. You can see that the entire Great Basin, with the exception of portions of Nevada and southeastern Utah, will see quite a bit of precipitation. Finally, in the 8 to 14 day outlook, which takes us through the third week of May, the Climate Prediction Center is calling for a continuation of the really cold and wet pattern that we have been in all spring. So this is quite interesting for fire season. It'll continue to delay the drying and curing of fuels as we stay in this cool and wet pattern. So that's it. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. Our information is on the screen, and you can also find us on Twitter. Thank you.